Before the rise of Silicon Valley, monopoly was a pejorative in the dictionary of American life. Of course, the dirty word was joyously pursued. Businesses always aggressively aspired to achieve a state of complete and total dominance over markets. Most modern economics textbooks would describe that ambition as healthy and normal. Still, monopoly was a culturally unacceptable and politically dangerous goal to Blair. Except in a few isolated cases, the true forerunners of today's giants, that goal was hardly ever vocalized in Thomas Jefferson's native land, which romanticized competition as the best hedge against dangerous concentrations of power. Even as the American government stopped doing much to actively constrain monopoly in the 1980s, companies continued to respect the old tradition of paying homage to the virtues of rigorous competition. Then along came the new giants of tech. Silicon Valley's biggest companies don't merely crave monopoly as a matter of profit. Its pundits and theorists don't merely tolerate gigantism as a fact of economic life. In the great office park south of San Francisco, monopoly is a spiritual yearning, a concept unabashedly embraced. Big tech considers the concentration of power in its companies, in the networks they control, an urgent social good, the precursor to global harmony, a necessary condition for undoing the alienation of humankind. At their most idealistic moments, the tech giants draped their pursuit of monopoly in grandiose rhetoric about human rights and connection, a lofty sense of self-mission that makes the growth of these networks an imperative. Their size becomes an end unto itself. They aspire to escape competition, to exist on their own plane, so they can fulfill their transcendent potential. Their dangerous dream has such a firm footing because it has such a long pedigree. Silicon Valley's craving for monopoly stretches back, strangely enough, to the counterculture of the 1960s, where it emerged from the most lyrical of visions of peace and love. More specifically, it begins with a crown prince of hippiedom. Stewart Brand would drive his truck down the San Francisco Mid-Peninsula through the dissipating fog of the early 60s. The sticker on his bumper protested, "Custer died for your sins." On his exposed chest rested a string of beads. Citizens of the acid scene, of which Brand was a leading light, thought of him as an Indian freak. It was a romance that first stirred when a family friend asked Brand to photograph the Warm Springs Reservation for a brochure, and that culminated in his marriage to Lois Jennings, an Ottawa. To Brand, the child of an advertising executive, Native Americans were a revelation. His father had written the script for the conformist consumerism of the 50s, and Native Americans were the living, breathing refutation of it. Like so many white men before him, Brand found authenticity on the reservation that felt painfully absent in his own life. The reservation was a refuge, a bastion that stubbornly refused to partake in planetary destruction and clung to a cosmic consciousness. In an especially groovy mood, Brand once quipped, "Indians are so planetary, they also tend to be extraplanetary." To spread the values that he first found in Warm Springs, Brand created a small troupe of dancers that performed a multimedia show he called America Needs Indians. Replete with flashing lights, music, and projected images, the show was a peyote meeting without peyote, in Brand's telling. This spectacle was an early glimpse of Brand's career as an impresario, one who would shape the future of technology. His gift was to channel the spiritual longings of his generation, and then to explain how they could be fulfilled by technology. He made his case in books and articles, but those were his relatively square undertakings. He created a new genre of publication that more or less hyperlinked to the texts of his fellow travelers. Long before TED, he created a chin-tugging conference circuit. Brand would come to inspire a revolution in computing. Engineers across Silicon Valley revered Brand for explaining the profound potential of their work in ways they couldn't always see or articulate. Brand gathered a devoted following because he brought to technology a rousing sense of idealism. Where politics failed to transform humanity, computers just might. That dream of transformation, a world healed by technology brought together into a peaceful model of collaboration, carries a charming innocence. In Silicon Valley, this naive belief has been handed down through ages. Even the most hard-nosed corporations have internalized it. What began as a stirring dream, humanity tied together into a single transcendent network, has become the basis for monopoly. In the hands of Facebook and Google, Brand's vision is a pretext for domination.